Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome to the second episode of Cities Skylines After Dark. And last time we actually hit a milestone and we've got some new stuff that we can do. We can actually make districts now. Now what I always like to do when I can make districts is I like to make a big district that covers my industrial area. So let's go ahead and cover the industrial. We'll just make that into sort of one big district. And that's called Daffodil Square. Yeah, bit smoggy, probably doesn't need to be called that. But we can enact individual policies here, and I always like to have smoke detector distribution on the industry, because I think that's always quite a useful thing to have. We don't actually have the city planning policies yet. Now, some of the ones that you get, I've noticed, are a little bit strange. For example, in order to enact city planning, we need a population of 5,500. Now, last time I checked, when I was streaming this last night, some of these policies, like the encourage biking policy, is actually a city-wide policy. Now, we can unlock that at 1,500 population, but we can't actually use it at that point, which seems a little bit odd to me. Obviously, we've got all these things that we can build. There's luxury hotels, casinos, zoos, a driving range, the fantastic fountain, and Statue of Wealth, Statue of Industry. There's also lots of nice, interesting stuff in here. I generally don't build a lot of these because they cost a lot of money and they're quite large, but we will have the option for some. I don't think any of them want to pop up there yet. So in order to get the tourism and leisure ones, the actual unique ones, you do need to get to 5,500 populations. That's going to take a little bit of time. There are some other new buildings that we could get that we probably should get. First of all, we are going to need a fire department, and getting a fire department that is nice and close to the industry is usually a good idea, but also having one that is quite close to the residential is usually well served as well. So I'm going to put the fire department in here so it's nice and central, and we're also going to need a police department. Now, the police department are probably going to be serving the residential areas more than anything else. So we will go ahead and squeeze the police department in. I think I'd actually prefer it to get it on the main road. So what I'm going to do is we are going to go and put another 6-lane road in. We'll build this road out. It's going to cost us quite a bit of money. Not a terrible amount, actually. That's probably enough. And then we will go and grab our police station. And the police station can go against this road here. So, not exactly optimal placement there, but at least it's on a main road, which gives them a lot more capacity for the traffic. As you can see, we're getting into another nighttime cycle. The lights are starting to come back on. We need to keep an eye on our power consumption. So, our nighttime power consumption, we've now dropped into the yellow. So, maybe we are using more power at night. Let's go and put this up to 80% and see what happens. Our water availability is again in the yellow, so that's a little bit worrying. So let's go ahead and make sure that our nighttime water consumption is maybe on 70%, something around there. A building has leveled up. That is always a nice thing to see. Yep, we're still having water problems here. In fact, water availability is really dropping at this point. So let's go ahead and... Oh, did I raise the wrong one? It's quite possible that I did. Let's just put our nighttime water usage up to 90% and see what happens. So our electricity now, we are into the green. And the water are into the green as well. It doesn't matter if we're over by a little bit. I mean, obviously the higher it is, the less money that we are making per month. But we are still making money, which is all good. Still got a little bit more need for commercial, although there's quite a bit of area that they could still build in, so I'm not going to bother about that too much. We would like to get some more population. We do have some information about our city. So we have 338 households, or at least room for 338 households, and only 325 of them are occupied. We're actually getting a few more pop-up, so there's definitely still space for people to move in. We don't need to go mad and build lots more residential, although we probably will at some point. So we're just trying to get up to our next milestone. Now, what milestone do we actually need to get up to in order to unlock the better road types? highway, this one, we need to get to Boomtown. We need a population of 2,600. That'll also allow us to unlock public transport, including the bus and the taxi, which is going to be very, very nice for us. It also allows us to unlock the bus lanes on the bus and taxi lanes on the 6-way road and on the 4-lane road. So what we could actually do if we wanted to is on these main roads here, we could actually upgrade them to a 6-lane road with a specific bus and taxi lane. Might be really good for us, so we'll definitely have a look at doing that. We do have a fire going on down here. The appliance is arriving to hopefully tackle that and deal with it quite quickly. Hopefully things like our fire department can cope. The hazard is relatively low. The crime rate is relatively low as well. And there is a fair bit of jail capacity. It's going to be nice and interesting when we can actually get up to prisons. Not too sure what level you need to get up in order to unlock that. There's a lot of interesting buildings and things we can build. So you'll notice there you can see the bus station. Now these are the new ploppables that you can get. You've got things like jet ski rental, fishing piers, fishing tours, marinas, riding stables, restaurant pier, beach volleyball court, skate park. Lots of nice stuff that we can drop down later on. And leisure specialisation we can grab. Harsh prison sentences. The prison sentences are twice as long as usual, and the harsh verdicts keep the worst felons off the streets for longer. It reduces the crime rate and double the usual prison sentences. And we can raise individual taxes. Let go of leisure. Leisure specialised areas stop generating tax income, but get a hefty boost in their entertainment and attractiveness values. So a lot of interesting stuff in there. Incineration plant. We can incinerate the garbage, the metro station, the university, and the prison. The prison is one of the new buildings that we can build. What else have we got to come later on? We already know about these, like the cargo train stations, the hydroelectric plants, crematoriums, water treatment plants. They were in there before, so was the solar power plant. Harbour and cargo harbour, ships. Yep, seen all of those before. Nuclear plant, cargo hub. Airport. I think the international airport is a new thing that has been added. I know that we had planes in there before, but yeah, they've now added the international airport. So we've got a much, much larger airport complex, which means the top milestone is 90,000 population. Still quite a way off for us at the moment, but I believe there is a possibility of getting there. We are starting to get some more demand for residential. I could go ahead and put some residential in here. It's never ideal to have it directly next to the main road, but it's not a terrible idea either. Let's go ahead and just put in another section of road over here so that we can go and put some more housing in. So we're going to go right the way to the top, right the way to the bottom. These are only small streets, but I think they should be able to deal with the capacity quite nicely. Power should get over here fine. As for the water, everything's already connected right there, which is really nice. There was something that I just remembered that I wanted to take a look at. Now I can't remember what it is. So there's a bit of lag and delay when trying to place these ploppables. I'm not too sure what that is all about. But we've certainly got some people moving in now. Now, what's all of our consumption looking like? Electricity's still good. Water's still good. Garbage is... landfill usage is low. We don't have any incinerators yet, so we can't worry about that. Most people are relatively healthy. Most people are relatively happy. Okay, so we've got to Tiny Town now. This gives us some new stuff, including the high school. Now, as I was saying, one thing that does give us is the encourage biking. But what I think I noticed when I was streaming this last night is if we actually go into the policies, we don't have the encourage biking option here. It doesn't appear in the services. It actually appears under city planning. So if I go and click on Daffodil Square and click on policies, there's no option to tell people to prefer biking. But I have definitely seen it under the city planning one, which I do find a little bit strange. Might be a bug, might be something that's fixed by the time the game comes out. So I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. We're still gaining some population, which is really nice. We're actually making a little bit of money. We could probably afford, if we haven't done so already, to go ahead and pay off that loan. No reason why we should keep it if we can afford to pay it off. If we do need more money, we can always get another loan, so that is absolutely fine. We've got a few more things that we can place down. I wanted to have a look at traffic. As you can see, this area here is quite busy. It's mainly the intersections that are getting busy. What you can do later on, though, is you can cut out some of these intersections by using raised roads, or indeed upgrading some of these side roads. We could also go ahead and connect some of these roads along at the top, because by doing that it might take some of the pressure off these junctions. We could also go ahead and make it into a one-way system, which can be quite useful. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and get a 2-lane one-way street, and we're going to go and build out this way just slightly. We'll go up to like sort of how many is it? 1, 2, 3. Trying to find the halfway mark. I think it's there. So we can go out and do that and make that into a one-way system. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually upgrade this area to one-way. And make sure that it's all going in the right direction by right-clicking. So there we go. And then we want to turn this into a one-way system. And hopefully this all wants to be going in the right direction as well. Which does get a little bit difficult to see when you can't actually see the arrows on the roads. So everything here now should be one way, and it should all be going in one direction. Yeah, so that's going to take a little bit of pressure off the rest of the roads. We can also go ahead and zone a little bit more commercial in there. Now, I've also noticed that we're having problems with the water. Our water availability right now is very low. If we go ahead and have a look, it is daytime. On the budget panel, our daytime water productivity is quite low. Let's put it up to 90%, see if that's enough to solve the problem. Our power is also quite low as well. So let's have a look at that. And again, we need to get our... I think we can put power up to about 90% day and night. I did mention on my stream, it would be nice if there was some sort of way to lock the two sliders together so you could move them both up, but... maybe you don't need to, who knows. Now, is that going to solve our water and electricity problem? Electricity problem has been solved. Water problem is kind of solved, but still not great. What would be nice is if we could go ahead and put in a water pump. A water pumping station could be very useful for us. Obviously, we want to put the water pumping stations upstream from the sewage outlet. So let's go ahead and put one in here. We can go ahead and connect that up to the network, and it will need power, which is fine, because we do have some pylons here. And we should have enough power with the other power plant, but let's go ahead and put another wind turbine up here. We've spent most of our money now, but that should help things out. It should certainly get rid of a lot of these problems that we're having. Looks like the fire appliances are dealing with the fires over there. So what other new stuff have we now got that we can place down? I think we did get some new stuff. Obviously we don't have any money, which doesn't help the issue. So what did we get? We got the high school, which we need to put in. We've also got some decoration and some level 2 unique buildings, which obviously we can't really afford. Ploppables, they've added some new stuff in here as well. I know some of these were in there from before. This is where you can find the cycle pass as well, which can be quite useful. But they've also apparently added other ploppables, but I can't see where they all are. But having the cycle pass is going to be quite nice. So it would be nice to get a school. We just can't afford to do it right now. And obviously we could increase the land value if we were to go and throw a park or something into one of these areas, which we could do if we got some more money. In fact, things aren't going too bad right now. We've got a decent amount of money coming in. The population is growing fairly well. Let's go ahead and take out a loan so we can do some stuff. So we'll go into the ploppables. We will grab our... I can't remember what this was. This is the tourism and leisure one. Hopefully we'll get up to that £5,500 mark. Let's go ahead and get one of these parks. If we can get one that isn't massive and doesn't take up like the entire neighbourhood, and we can go ahead and squeeze one in somewhere, because they're not huge. They do, of course, involve destroying a few houses to place down. So let's go and pop one here, right next to the main road. There we go. So, unfortunately, that's made a few people homeless. But we now have a little park in there as well. So that is all good stuff. Got another fire going on up here. There are fire appliances there, so we can reach it. Let's have another quick look at the traffic. So we do still have traffic problems here. I suppose we're now sending a lot more traffic in one direction. So what we could do is we could make this into a one-way system as well, and funnel traffic from here and go down on that side. But this junction is going to get quite busy. But I think I might make some more one-way roads. So once again, we want to upgrade to a one-way system. We will want to put some new roads in. So we want to go this way, and connect them up. And then we want to upgrade the roads. And we want this road to come all the way down here. And I think it's all going in the right direction. Right, these ones are in the wrong direction. So we need to change these ones around. So all of the traffic now should be going around that way. That might alleviate the traffic problem, or it might just make it worse. Now, the thing with building grids is it is quite space efficient in terms of being able to use your land, but at the same time, it can also cause a lot of junk. It doesn't look pretty. It can cause a lot of problems with junctions. And it also means that you end up with a lot of... well, you don't have a lot of space to rejig the roads if you need to, which becomes problematic later. Let's go ahead and we'll put some more commercial in there. We've got a little bit more call for industrial, which doesn't surprise me. Now, what I'd like to do is industrial zone all of this area. Now, some of it is being taken up by the pylons, but once we actually have buildings in these areas, we'll be able to go ahead and get rid of those pylons. So that is what we will do. I think we're also going to go ahead and just take some normal roads and just extend these roads out so that they level up with the other road. Maybe we do want to just go, you know, straight across the top and just connect these roads. It won't go quite straight, which is very annoying. Let me just quickly pause, bulldoze a little bit of road there. So let's say we want this road to go straight across here, and then we want to... Yeah, this is the strange thing. Sometimes the roads just don't want to connect up the way that you want them to, which can be a little bit annoying. Let's go ahead and bulldoze away that piece of road as well. We'll continue this down. So we're going to have a little bit of a derpy road there, but it's fine. It also now gives us a little bit more space for traffic on this one-way system to actually escape and go this way and rejoin the main road down there. So it's a good way to try and move your congestion from one place to another. I mean, what we could do here as well is we could make a one-way system that runs down and joins onto this road to force this traffic to either go down here or join onto this street. So let's go ahead and do that. It's not a terrible idea. Well, it might be a terrible idea, but we'll go to here and join you onto there. People are unhappy because we've built a road near them, but it's giving them more access. We'll go ahead and put in some more residential. We still haven't opened up the new road types yet, I don't think, that I've been waiting for. No, we're not quite there yet. I think that's when we get to our next milestone. Let's just double check that. Yep, so we need to get to a population of 2,600. Then I'll be able to sort this road out here. We could go ahead if we wanted to and actually build a new area. Or actually purchase a new area, which we probably will do at some point. Now, it says you don't have power, which I find really hard to believe because you are directly adjacent to a pylon. Power is in the yellow already. So let's go ahead and just put our daytime power up to 100%. I guess we should be running at max capacity by now anyway. Our water availability is good. I guess we could probably save a little bit of money if we put our daily water productivity down to 85% because it's still quite high. And what we'll be able to do is get rid of some of these pylons. And in fact, that's exactly what I'm going to do, because getting rid of the pylons will give more room for the places to grow. Now, you don't actually need pylons to conduct the electricity because the buildings that are there will do that for you. And now that we've got rid of these pylons, we can actually go ahead and fill in the spaces. It gives us more building space. So we're going to go ahead and we will do the same with these pylons. In fact, there probably is enough room now. If I actually take these pylon sections out and just double check to see if power is getting through, we'll allow people to build in these areas. Now, where is our power running? Now, that pylon is slightly outside of the buildable area. So there isn't any power getting into this block, but we could go ahead and just build it into there. That's fine. Everything's now connected onto the power grid. We can already see we've got new buildings going up. Population is over at 2,000 and it is still increasing. We are getting some more call for residential. We're also getting some call for commercial as well. Let's go ahead and think about getting ourselves another main road running from here. So let's go and grab the same type of road, which was the 6-lane road. We'll bring that down in this direction about this far. And then maybe we don't want a 6-lane road. Maybe a 4-lane road is enough. And we can run this road from, let's say here. We'll run this road all the way along to the end. We'll use our 2-lane roads to connect these up. Now, this will create a lot of additional junctions, but it's fine because we're creating them on a rather big road. Now, that gives us a little bit more room just to put some zoning in there. So let's go ahead and do all of that. And then what we can do then is we can just zone down to here. So you always want to try and make sure that you've got tiers of road. Don't just have all of your roads being the smallest roads. Try and have 2-lane roads attached to 4-lane roads and 4-lane roads attached to 6-lane roads, because it'll mean that you'll have much less traffic problems and it'll be much easier to upgrade any roads later on should you need to do it. We could extend that road just a little. We go all the way to there, and then that should just allow us to do that last little bit. That's all good. So much more space there. We will need some more pipes, of course, because the pipes don't actually reach this far down. So let's just follow the path of the roads. Make sure everything is covered. There we go. So everyone should have water. Did that actually connect up? Yes, it did. Fantastic. And we have some more call for commercial. So we could make this into a bit of a commercial area. Let's go ahead and do that. So do I want to take this main road over in this direction? Well, it's not a terrible idea. So let's go ahead and do that. We can connect it up to there quite nicely. Get ourselves a nice little 2-lane road running down the middle here. And then we can go ahead and just drop some commercial in those zones. And they have water. So that's fantastic. That's probably as much zoning as we need to do for a little while. Population is now up to 2,200 and it's still growing. We are still making some money, which is what I like to see. The city is growing. Now, how long is it going to take us to get up to that population cap? Let's have a look at the chirps and see if there's anything interesting coming in. Looks like there's a lot of space left in the police cells. Smoke detectors are making people happy. People loving the new parks. Green energy. We only have one park, by the way. I only put a single park in. If we go ahead and look at the happiness, most people are relatively happy. There's a few grumpy ones around, but not to worry too much. Health-wise, health is generally good. We never did manage to get that high school in, did we? Let's go ahead and do that. So we've got the high school, and I guess we could put that down here in our new sort of area. Unfortunately, we'd end up destroying one of the newly built houses, but hey-ho, you know, these things happen. Let's just go ahead and dump that in there. So that's all working out quite nicely. Means we'll get some more educated people. And again, if you start looking at the industry, we'll notice that a lot of them are saying that there are not enough workers. And if we look here, this factory needs uneducated workers. It needs 16 uneducated workers, and it only has 6. It's got 10 jobs available. If we go and look at our population, you can see we have 1,100 adults. And our workers is 1,110 out of 1,666. So we still have about 500 people unemployed, but they're still not going to work at these jobs, which I always find a little bit strange. It's now starting to flip back over to nighttime again, so we need to keep our eye on our budget panel and make sure our day and nighttime, our nighttime electricity and water usage is good. Water availability is still fine. Electricity is a little bit low during the night. So on our budget panel, we are running at 100% already. So we're using quite a bit of power at night. Maybe at night we need to just nudge it up and give it that extra little bit. It's going to cost us some more money, but it should hopefully mean that we can keep the lights on during the night time. There we go, 5% more, and we are well into the green. We're creating 20 megawatts more than we need to, so I'm tempted to think that maybe going up to 105% was maybe slightly overkill. So we'll turn it down a little bit. Energy production, 60 megawatts. Okay, maybe that was the daytime one that we were looking at there. If we put this back down to 100%, and just keep our eye on it. Yeah, we're producing 58, 59 megawatts, and we're only requiring 42. So maybe it was our daytime consumption that was a little bit higher. Well, that's not too bad. I think that is quite acceptable. Obviously, it is getting a little bit messy with the grid. Still got a lot of people here who are short of workers, which is a little bit problematic. One thing we could do is we could go ahead and build ourselves another little residential area closer to the industrial. Sometimes that can actually work out in your favour. So let's go ahead and build a 4-lane road. We'll build it right off in this direction, pretty much as far as we can go. And then we'll go ahead and we'll just get some two-lane roads and build out. We'll start at this end because we don't want to be too close to the industrial area. So we want to go up to there. And we'll do the same thing down on this side. We will need to get water over here. But if we make this into a nice little residential area, maybe people that are living over here will be close enough to work at the industrial area. Let's just go and grab all of these tiles and all of these tiles. Starting to remember about the different tools now, which makes this a little bit easier. You're going to need water, of course. So let's get this water pipe down here. And if we run this pipe right up the middle, it should actually be enough to reach both sides of the block. Fantastic. So now we'll have some people living slightly closer. We might need to get some more amenities in, like another health centre, another fire station, maybe some more police coverage and stuff like that. But I think that's going to work quite well. We're nearly at the next milestone. In fact, we only need 5 more population, so let us wait for that to fire. So now we can get public transport, taxis and buses. New road types, we can get some bus lanes in, we can build a cemetery, a bus depot, the advanced wind turbine, taxi depot, a lot of new stuff we can get. The first thing that I want to sort out here is this disaster with the roads. So let's just go ahead and take out those existing bits of road, and we are going to go and grab ourselves the highway sections. And we want one coming from here and going in this direction. And we want one coming from here and going in that direction. Now, it does put a little bit of a curve on, which is slightly annoying. But at least it now actually works. We have 6 lanes, 3 lanes from each side. I mean, these aren't really 3 lanes anyway. But we do have 6 lanes filtering into 6 lanes. So that makes a lot more sense. And then what we could do on this 6-lane road that's running up the middle is we could actually go and upgrade that to a 6-lane road with bus lanes. So if we go and do this all the way along, I'm not going to do the main one that runs up to the highway right now. We'll save that for later. But there we go. We actually now have bus and taxi lanes that run all the way up this main artery through the middle of the city. So that can be quite useful. Not too sure whether or not we'll need them up here. It depends where we put our bus depot and our taxi depot. Maybe we won't have this section with the bus lanes. But maybe we'll start putting the bus and taxi lanes in down here. We'll have to see how that goes. The next milestone is a little way off. Got to hit 5,500. There's still quite a lot of new stuff that we've just got there that we can put into our city, especially the cemeteries and the bus depots and stuff like that. But I am going to do that on another video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you're still enjoying City Skylines After Dark, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.